He promised me eternal love, but I found his secret in a lost message. Anna had always been a practical, organized woman focused on her career. Her office, located in an elegant building in the city center, was a reflection of her personality, every pen in its place, every document properly filed. One day, while tidying her desk, a strange object caught her attention. It was a cell phone that did not belong to her. Curious, Anna picked up the device and, upon looking at the screen, saw that it was unlocked. A momentary impulse led her to open the messages. What she found left her speechless. A conversation between Pedro, her boyfriend of nearly 2 years, and a woman named Juliana. The words jumped off the screen as if they were screaming for her attention. "Shall we meet tomorrow? I miss you," one of the messages read. Anna's heart raced. The feeling of betrayal enveloped her like a heavy cloak. What is happening, she thought, her mind swirling with questions that seemed to have no answers. Disconcerted, Anna placed the cell phone back on the desk, as if it were a bomb about to explode. "It can't be true," she repeated to herself. "Pedro would never do this to me." However, the image of her perfect life with him began to crumble. Anna closed her eyes for a moment, trying to push away the thoughts that haunted her, but she couldn't. Doubt consumed her. That night, Anna got ready for a romantic dinner she had planned with Pedro. The restaurant was one of the couple's favorites, known for its cozy atmosphere and exquisite dishes. As she looked at herself in the mirror, Anna made a promise to herself: no matter what she had read, she wouldn't let a misunderstanding ruin her night. "I'll ask subtly," she decided, taking a deep breath. When they arrived at the restaurant, Pedro was radiant, as always. He greeted Anna with a soft kiss and a smile that could melt any doubt away. "You look stunning," he complimented, pulling out a chair for her to sit. Anna returned the smile, but a part of her was in conflict. During dinner, Anna did her best to keep the conversation light and fun. However, a part of her mind was constantly wondering how to approach the message she had found. She wanted Pedro to notice the tension in her gaze, but he seemed so carefree, so oblivious to her torturous thoughts. "Pedro, how was your day?" Anna asked, trying to maintain a casual tone. "Oh, you know, the same as always. A lot of work, but everything is going very well," he replied, looking at his plate. Anna noticed that he wasn't making eye contact, which heightened her suspicions. "You've been a bit distant lately," Anna said, trying to gauge his reaction. Pedro looked up, surprised. "Distant? Me? No way. I'm just focused on work, love," he explained, giving a nervous smile. Anna forced a smile, but the truth was that the conversation was becoming unbearable. The idea that Pedro might be hiding something consumed her from within. "And what about you and Juliana? Do you really feel the need to meet with her?" The question slipped from her lips before she could control herself. Pedro froze. The smile vanished from his face. "Juliana? What do you mean by that?" he questioned, his voice more serious. Anna felt a chill run down her spine. "I found a message on the phone. You two seem to be meeting," she said, her voice trembling. The tension in the air was palpable. "This is a misunderstanding, Anna," Pedro said, trying to explain himself, but his expression was one of nervousness. "She's just a friend. There was never anything between us." Anna frowned. "A friend? Pedro, you know that's not a sufficient explanation. You need to be honest with me. What is going on? Please, let's not discuss this here," he pleaded, looking around the restaurant as if fearing someone might overhear. Anna felt a mix of anger and sadness. "I'm not asking to discuss, I just wanted you to be sincere with me." Dinner continued, but the conversation no longer had flavor. Anna tried to concentrate, but thoughts of betrayal and distrust plagued her. Pedro talked about work, but his words were just a distant echo. Every time he smiled, Anna remembered the message, and it hurt her. On the way home, Anna was silent, lost in her own thoughts. Pedro tried to break the ice, commenting on dinner and making jokes, but the lightness from before had disappeared. When they arrived at the apartment, Anna decided to take a shower. The warm water ran over her body, but it couldn't wash away the anguish that consumed her. After the shower, she sat on the bed and looked at the cell phone. The message was still there. It was as if it was calling her, begging to be read again. Anna's heart raced at the thought of checking the device once more, but she knew that would only leave her more distressed. What do I do now, she thought, feeling lost. I can't go on like this, Anna said aloud, as if the statement itself could bring some clarity. The truth was that she loved Pedro, but trust had been shaken. In a moment of desperation, she decided that she needed answers, but she didn't know where to start. Doubts piled up, and she felt as if she were in a maze with no exit. That night, Anna couldn't sleep. She tossed and turned in bed, her thoughts spinning in her mind like a carousel. Pedro is not who I thought he was, she whispered to herself, tears streaming down her face. How could I have been so naive? The image of the man she loved faded amid a whirlwind of uncertainties. The next morning brought new light, but it didn't ease the pain Anna felt. She sat at the breakfast table, staring at the cup she held in her hands, the aroma of coffee barely providing any comfort. The phone rang, and her heart raced when she saw it was Pedro. With a mix of anxiety and determination, she decided to answer. Hi, love. Can we talk later? He asked, his voice sounding somewhat nervous. Anna hesitated. Pedro, we need to talk about yesterday, she said, her voice firm. I can't continue like this without knowing the truth. Sure. I'll meet you later, okay, he replied, almost hurriedly. Anna hung up and sighed. Later, she thought. Later could be the moment that changes everything. As she got ready for work, Anna knew the day would be long. The hours seemed to drag on, each second weighing like an anchor in her chest. Her co-workers noticed that something was wrong, but Anna just smiled and said she was fine. Just a little tired, she said, avoiding further questions. Her hands trembled as she typed, and her mind wouldn't leave her in peace. What would she do when she saw Pedro? Would he be sincere? Could he face the truth that loomed between them? Anna knew that the conversation was necessary, but the uncertainty left her restless. When the time for the meeting finally arrived, Anna's heart was racing. She sat in a quiet cafe, the place chosen by Pedro. The atmosphere was cozy, but anxiety enveloped her like a dark cloud. I hope he doesn't try to deceive me again, she thought, glancing at the clock. Pedro arrived a few minutes later, his nervous demeanor betraying the tension that hung between them. Hi, Anna, he said, pulling out a chair. I'm sorry for what happened yesterday. The sincerity in his voice made her hesitate. Pedro, I need answers. I can't go on like this. He nodded, his expression serious. You're right. I shouldn't have hidden anything from you. Anna felt her stomach churn. So, tell me the truth. What is going on with Juliana? Pedro took a deep breath, as if preparing for battle. Juliana and I had something, but it was fleeting. I don't love her, Anna. I love you. His words hit her like an arrow, but doubt still consumed her. How can I trust you now? Anna asked, her voice trembling. How can I believe that there's nothing else between you? Pedro looked her in the eyes. I promise there isn't. It was a mistake, a weakness. I should have been honest from the beginning. Anna felt a wave of conflicting emotions. Honesty is fundamental in a relationship, Pedro. I don't know if I can continue like this. The conversation continued, and Anna realized she was at a crossroads. Anna was sitting at the dining table, the ambience lit by candles casting dancing shadows on the walls. The aroma of the dish she had prepared filled the air, but the atmosphere was far from romantic. In her mind, the message she had read on the phone left behind by a stranger echoed incessantly. Meeting with Juliana, it was all she needed to know for a whirlwind of emotions to invade her heart. Pedro, her boyfriend, seemed more distant than ever, and she couldn't understand why. She decided it was time to confront him. As the meal cooled on her plate, she took a deep breath, trying to find the right words. "Pedro, we need to talk about something serious," she said, her voice slightly trembling. Pedro, who was lost in thought, looked up, his expression changing from surprise to disinterest. "Sure, love. What is it?" He smiled, but Anna could see it wasn't a genuine smile. "I found a message on a phone that isn't mine. A message mentioning a meeting with a woman named Juliana. Can you explain that?" Anna's gaze was intense, and she felt her heart racing as if it were about to leap from her chest. Pedro hesitated, his expression becoming evasive. "Oh, that? It must be a misunderstanding. Juliana is just a friend, and it has nothing to do with me." "I'm surprised you saw that," he replied, trying to avoid eye contact. Anna felt a chill in her stomach. "A misunderstanding? Pedro, I'm not talking about a trivial conversation. It's a meeting. How do you expect me to believe that?" Her voice rose slightly, revealing the frustration that burned within her. Pedro, realizing he was losing control of the situation, tried to change the subject. "Let's focus on our dinner. You spent a lot of time making this. It's delicious, by the way." He smiled again, but this time it was a nervous smile. Anna wasn't fooled. The dinner felt like a set from a sad movie, and she wasn't willing to be led into a plot that was nothing but a farce. "I'm not going to let this slide, Pedro. I need answers. I can't stay here, living a lie," she stated firmly. He sighed, looking tired. "Anna, you're overreacting. I promise there's nothing between us. It's just a phase, and everything will work itself out. You can trust me." The way he spoke seemed more like an attempt to calm her down than a demonstration of sincerity. But Anna's trust was fading. She decided she needed more than empty words. The next day brought a new plan. Not knowing how to start, she decided to seek out Beatriz, Pedro's sister. The hope of obtaining concrete information guided her, even knowing the conversation could be tense. When she arrived at Beatriz's house, Anna hesitated at the door. What would she say? Would she be an intruder in Pedro's life? But curiosity and pain pushed her forward. Upon being welcomed, Beatriz looked at her with a curious gaze but didn't ask questions. "Hi, Beatriz. Can I talk to you?" Anna began, her voice laden with concern. "Of course, Anna. What's going on?" Beatriz replied, noticing the seriousness in Anna's expression. Anna took a deep breath, trying to gather courage. "I found out something about Pedro. Something that worries me a lot." She hesitated, then revealed, "He is meeting with a woman named Juliana." Beatriz's eyes narrowed. "Juliana? This is serious, Anna. What else do you know?" Anna explained the situation, detailing the message she had found. Beatriz listened attentively, but her expression was one of worry and tension. "Pedro has always had a complicated past, you know that, right? He never talks much about his childhood, but I can tell you that his relationship with our mother was tumultuous. That shaped how he deals with love. So you're saying this could be affecting our relationship?" Anna asked, her voice trembling at the thought that the problems she faced were not just about betrayal but something deeper. Beatriz nodded, the sadness in her eyes revealing that she herself was dealing with the ghosts of Pedro's past. "Sometimes he shuts himself off. And when that happens, he might end up getting involved in situations he shouldn't." Anna felt lost. "What do I do now? How can I help him if he isn't even willing to be honest with me?" Frustration and sadness overwhelmed her, and she felt a tear slide down her face. Beatriz moved closer, placing a hand on Anna's shoulder. "Just be honest with him. Tell him how you feel. You deserve to know the truth. And if he can't give you that, maybe it's better for you to walk away." The conversation left Anna with a heavy heart, but also with a new determination. She knew she needed support and decided to call Sofia, her longtime friend who had faced a similar situation during a difficult time in her life. When they met in a cafe, Anna sat across from Sophia, who watched her with concern. "Hi, Anna. You look different. What happened?" Anna didn't know where to start. "Sophia, I'm going through a complicated time with Pedro. I love him, but I don't know if I can trust him after what I found out." Sophia leaned forward, her eyes filled with empathy. "What did he do?" "He's seeing a woman named Juliana. I don't know what to think. I went looking for information, and his sister told me he has a complicated past. I don't know if I can handle this," Anna replied, feeling vulnerable. "You need to be honest with yourself. What do you want, Anna? What do you expect from this relationship?" Sophia questioned, her voice soft yet firm. Anna hesitated, thinking about the answers. "I want true love, someone I can trust. But what if I still love Pedro? What if I'm just stuck on the idea of what we had?" Sophia smiled with understanding. "Sometimes, we need to let go of what hurts us to find what truly deserves our happiness. You need to put yourself first. Don't be afraid to seek what's best for you." The conversation with Sophia was a relief, but uncertainty still loomed over Anna. She knew the road ahead would be difficult, but she also felt a new strength beginning to awaken within her. The search for answers was just beginning, and her determination to face her fears and insecurities would guide her on her journey. Anna was sitting at the coffee table of a trendy restaurant, with a steaming cup of tea in front of her. The aroma of the hot drink mixed with the scent of fresh bread coming from the kitchen. She looked out the window, lost in thoughts about Pedro and the message she had seen. A mix of anxiety and curiosity enveloped her. What else didn't she know about him? What was behind that charming smile and the unfulfilled promises? Meanwhile, her heart was pounding, as if it knew she was about to discover something that could change everything. It was then that Beatriz, Pedro's sister, entered the cafe. She seemed a little hesitant, but upon spotting Anna, her face lit up. "Hi, Anna. Sorry for the delay. The traffic was a mess," Beatriz said, pulling out a chair and sitting down at the table. Anna forced a smile, but the tension was palpable. She knew she needed to ask the right questions. "Beatriz, I need to talk to you about Pedro," Anna began, her voice slightly trembling. Beatriz looked at her with a mix of concern and curiosity. "What happened? Is he okay?" Beatriz asked, but Anna noticed a shadow of apprehension in the sister's voice. "Yes, he's fine. But I found a message that mentioned someone named Juliana. And I can't get it out of my head," Anna revealed, her voice wavering as her eyes searched for Beatriz's reaction. Beatriz's face paled, and she quickly looked around, as if fearing someone might overhear. "Juliana," she began, hesitantly. "Pedro never told me about her. But, he has a complicated past. You need to know that." Anna felt a chill in her stomach. "What kind of past?" she pressed, her voice tense. Beatriz sighed, seeming to weigh her words. "He had a difficult childhood. The relationship with our mother was tumultuous. She was very demanding and never satisfied with him. That affected the way he sees love. Sometimes, he shuts himself off and distances himself for fear of getting hurt, or of hurting others. So you're saying he might be pulling away from me because of that? Because of the past?" Anna asked, her mind spinning with the revelations. "I don't know, Anna. But it's possible. He has this tendency to protect himself, to isolate when things get tough," Beatriz replied, with a sad look. "I never fully understood how this affects his relationships, but I know it's a pattern." Anna closed her eyes for a moment, processing the information. The idea that Pedro was dealing with his own insecurities and traumas made her feel a wave of empathy, but at the same time, the despair of not knowing if he genuinely loved her consumed her. "I need to understand more about him, about Juliana. I can't stay in this limbo." Beatriz nodded, and Anna realized that her sister was willing to help her. If you want, I can try to find out more about this Juliana. I know some people who might know what's going on. That would be great, Beatrice. I just want the truth. I can't live with these uncertainties, Anna replied, feeling a bit more relieved knowing she had support. After the conversation, Anna decided she needed to know more about Juliana. With a surge of determination, she began to research on social media and discovered that Juliana had a mutual friend with her, someone who could help her unravel more about the situation. The next day, Anna arranged to meet this friend at a cafe downtown. She felt nervous but also excited. Upon arriving at the location, she spotted Lucas, a light-haired man with a welcoming smile. He waved at her, and Anna sat down at the table, trying to hide her anxiety. "Hi, Anna. Beatrice told me about you. How are you?" Lucas asked as he settled into his chair. "Hi, Lucas. I'm trying to understand some things," Anna admitted, her voice trembling a little. "I heard you know Juliana." "Yes, I know her. She's a longtime friend." "Why are you asking about her?" Lucas asked, with a curious look. Anna took a deep breath. "I'm in a relationship with Pedro, Beatrice's brother, and I found messages that suggest he has something going on with her. I need to know if this is true." Lucas hesitated for a moment, seeming to consider his words. "Look, Anna, I don't want to meddle in your life, but Juliana and Pedro have a history. They met a few years ago, and there was something between them, but I don't know the details. What I do know is that Pedro has always had difficulties committing. So it's not just a friendship?" Anna asked, feeling her heart race. "No, it's not. They had a relationship, but I don't know if they're still involved. Pedro might have tried to hide this from you," Lucas replied, his gaze sincere. "He's a good guy, but he has his demons." Those words echoed in Anna's mind, like a refrain of everything Beatrice had said. Pedro's behavioral pattern was becoming clearer. He was trapped in a cycle of fear and insecurity. And Juliana? What does she represent for him? Anna inquired, seeking more answers. Juliana is complicated. She's always been attractive and full of energy, but she also has her own issues. Pedro and she have always had an intense connection, but it's hard to know if that still exists, Lucas explained, while Anna listened attentively. Does this mean he might be deceiving me? Anna asked, the anguish showing in her voice. I can't say anything for sure, Anna. But if you feel like you're in a relationship based on lies, it might be time to confront him. He needs to be honest with himself and with you, Lucas advised, looking into her eyes with seriousness. Anna nodded, feeling determination grow within her. The conversation helped her understand that Pedro was not just a traitor, but a man fighting his own demons. And, more than anything, she needed to be honest with herself and her emotions. Thank you, Lucas. You've helped me more than you realize, Anna said, feeling stronger. She knew that the truth was the path to her liberation, and she was willing to face it, no matter what happened. Anna sat on one of the park benches, the sun filtering through the leaves of the trees and creating a pattern of light and shadow around her. The gentle breeze softly swayed her hair, but the tranquility of the environment contrasted with the storm brewing inside her. She was waiting for Sophia, her longtime friend, and the anticipation of sharing her anguish made her nervous. In recent days, her mind had been filled with questions and insecurities about Pedro and the message she had found. When Sophia arrived, Anna could see the warm and welcoming expression on her friend's face. Hi, Anna. How are you? Sophia asked, sitting down beside her. Hi, Sophie. Actually, I don't really know how I am, Anna replied, looking down at the ground, trying to organize her thoughts. Sophia noticed the hesitation and, with a sympathetic look, said, Let's talk. What's going on? Anna took a deep breath, trying to find the courage to express her feelings. I found a message on Pedro's phone. He was meeting with a woman named Juliana. Anna's voice faltered as she spoke the name. Sophia frowned, concerned. Wow, Anna. This is serious. What are you going to do? I don't know. I thought our relationship was perfect. Now, everything feels like a big labyrinth of lies, Anna said, frustration showing in her voice. I tried talking to him, but he was evasive, as if he wanted to hide something. Sophia leaned in a little closer. Have you tried talking to his sister? Beatrice might know more about what's going on. Anna nodded, remembering her visit to Beatrice. I went to see her, and the conversation was tense. She said Pedro has a complicated past, but she didn't go into details. That kind of thing can be hard to deal with, Anna. But you need to know the truth. You deserve to know what's happening, Sophia encouraged. If you need me, I'm here to support you. Thank you, Sophie. It's just that, deep down, I still love Pedro. And that hurts me. Sometimes, I wonder if this is just a phase and if he can change, Anna confessed, feeling tears welling up in her eyes. Loving someone is complicated, especially when that love comes with pain. But you can't allow yourself to be an option or a second choice, Sophia said firmly. You need to put yourself first. Anna nodded, feeling the weight of Sophia's words. You're right. I need to learn to value myself more. But how? After everything that's happened, I'm feeling so lost. Maybe you should start by making small changes in your life. Things that make you feel good about yourself. Signing up for a course, exercising, or even practicing a hobby you love. The important thing is to reconnect with who you are, Sophia suggested. Anna smiled faintly, feeling a bit more hopeful. That sounds like a good idea. I've always liked writing, but I never gave myself time for it. Great! Writing can be a powerful way to express what you're feeling. It can help you process all of this, Sophia said, excited. And who knows, you might discover something new about yourself in the process. The conversation flowed naturally, and the two friends spent hours discussing their life experiences, sharing laughter and tears. Sophia talked about the betrayal she faced in her own relationship and how, after a period of seclusion and self-discovery, she found new love. I had to find myself first. It was a painful but necessary process, she explained. Anna listened attentively, absorbing every word. Did you feel lost too? Anna asked, with a tone of concern. Yes, very much. But it was in that space of pain that I realized how strong I was. You can find that strength too, Anna. Believe me, Sophia replied, holding her friend's hand. Sophia's words echoed in Anna's mind. She remembered moments when she felt insecure and how, even so, she managed to overcome them. Sophia, I want to learn to love myself more. I want to be strong, like you. But I'm still afraid of distancing myself from Pedro. What if I'm making a mistake? Loving someone shouldn't make you feel insecure. A relationship should be a safe space where you feel valued and respected. If it's not that way, maybe it's time to rethink what you really want, Sophia advised. Anna looked at the horizon, where the sun was beginning to set, painting the sky orange and pink. You're right. I need to be more honest with myself. This love I feel for Pedro can't be a crutch to hide my insecurities. Exactly. And remember that you're not alone. I'll be by your side, no matter what happens, Sophia said, smiling. Anna felt warmth in her heart hearing that. Their friendship was a safe harbor amid the emotional storm she was facing. Thank you, Sophie. I really need you right now. Let's support each other. Now, how about we start planning a trip? A self-care retreat, just the two of us. It could be a great opportunity to reconnect, Sophia suggested, with a sparkle in her eyes. Anna smiled, feeling revitalized by the idea. I love that proposal. Let's do it. The two friends continued talking, sharing dreams and making plans. Anna felt that, even amid the pain and confusion, there was a light at the end of the tunnel. The journey to rediscover herself wouldn't be easy, but with Sophia's help, she was determined to move forward and find her inner strength. Anna felt her heart racing as she prepared for the long-anticipated confrontation with Pedro. After weeks of uncertainty and a storm of emotions, she finally decided it was time to seek the truth. The message she found on the forgotten phone had become a constant echo in her mind, and the idea of a relationship built on secrets consumed her. In her head, Sophia's words resonated, "You deserve the truth, Anna. Don't live in doubt." When Anna arrived at Pedro's apartment, tension hung in the air. The smell of the dinner he had prepared mixed with the anxiety overwhelming her. She took a deep breath, trying to gather courage before entering. Upon opening the door, she found Pedro with a smile that didn't seem to match the gravity of the situation. He greeted her with a soft kiss, but Anna felt it was merely a curtain to hide the storm that was approaching. "Hi, love. I'm so glad you came. I was thinking of something special for us," Pedro said as he arranged the dishes on the table. "Pedro, we need to talk," Anna replied, her voice steady, even though her heart was in tatters. She pulled out a chair and sat down, looking into his eyes. "About Juliana." Pedro's expression changed instantly. The smile vanished, and a shadow of concern crossed his face. "Juliana? What do you know about her?" He tried to hide his apprehension, but Anna noticed the tension in his shoulders. "I found a message. One you shouldn't have sent," Anna said, trying to remain calm. "It talks about a meeting between you two." "Oh, that's just a misunderstanding, Anna. I can explain," he began, but her voice interrupted him. "I don't want explanations that minimize what happened. I want the truth. What do you feel for her?" Anna was determined, and her vulnerability was turning into strength. Pedro hesitated, staring at her, as if weighing his words. "Look, it was a mistake. A moment of weakness. But it doesn't mean anything to me. I love you." Anna's heart broke upon hearing this. "How can you say you love me when you hid a relationship with another woman? That's not love, Pedro. That's betrayal." He got up, starting to pace the room, trying to find the right words. "I know it looks bad, but I was going through a tough time. You don't know how complicated my life has been. Juliana was an escape, nothing more. I don't want to lose what we have. You can't just sweep all of this under the rug and expect me to believe your words," Anna asserted, her voice now louder. "Do you think I'm going to stay in a relationship based on lies and deceit?" Pedro stopped, staring at her. "Anna, I promise this won't happen again. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to fix this." She shook her head, her heart heavy. "And your promise is worth more than the trust you broke? I can't live like this, with doubts and insecurities. I need someone who is completely honest with me, and you are not that person. Please, don't do this. I really care about you. Let's work on this together," he pleaded, stepping closer to her. Anna stood up, feeling a wave of frustration and hurt. "No, Pedro. I can't. I deserve more than this. I deserve a love that doesn't leave me in doubt, a love that isn't stained by secrets." Pedro looked at her with a mix of despair and understanding. "So you're really determined to end everything over this? It's not just because of this. It's about everything it represents. I was already sensing that something was wrong between us, and this situation only confirmed my suspicions. I can't continue like this," Anna declared, her voice now firm and clear. He lowered his head, defeated. "I'm so sorry, Anna. I really am. I didn't want it to come to this. It's too late for regrets, Pedro. I need to walk away. I need to find the truth within myself, and I can't do that by your side," Anna said, feeling the pain of her decision, but also the sense of freedom beginning to emerge. With one last look, Anna left the apartment, the door closing behind her like an echo of a chapter coming to an end. Heart heavy yet relieved, she walked through the city streets, feeling the weight of tears about to fall. Though the pain was present, there was also a new determination within her, a voice whispering that she was strong enough to face whatever came next. The journey was just beginning, and Anna was willing to find the path to her own truth, even if it meant facing the pain of a lost love. Anna took a deep breath as she prepared to follow Pedro. The anguish in her heart thumped like a drum, but the determination to uncover the truth about their relationship propelled her forward. The message she had found on the forgotten phone had haunted her for days, like a shadow that wouldn't let her be. She no longer wanted to live in doubt. She no longer wanted to accept the evasions and lies Pedro told her. It was time to face reality, no matter how painful it might be. The social event where Pedro had promised he wouldn't be with Juliana was taking place at one of the trendiest restaurants in the city. Anna decided that if he was willing to lie, she could also become a detective, even if it made her uncomfortable. Dressed in a simple yet elegant black dress, with her hair tied in a casual bun, she headed to the venue, her heart racing with each step. Upon arriving, Anna felt a bit out of place. The atmosphere was filled with laughter and lively conversations, but she was there with one purpose: to find Pedro and Juliana. With a keen eye, she began to scan the space, her gaze fixating on every familiar face. Soft music played in the background, but for Anna, everything sounded like a distant buzz. Her focus was on Pedro. After a few minutes of searching, she finally saw him. He was at a table in the back of the restaurant, laughing and chatting with a group of friends. But what made her heart stop was the female figure beside him. Juliana. Anna's eyes narrowed as she watched their interaction. They looked so at ease, as if there were no secrets between them, as if the story Anna had built in her mind was merely an illusion. Anna felt a knot form in her stomach. She remembered the nights when Pedro ignored her, the moments when she tried to connect with him, but he seemed distant. How could I have been so blind, she thought. With a heavy heart, she decided she could wait no longer. It was time to act. Walking toward the table, Anna felt adrenaline pumping through her veins. Each step felt harder than the last, but the need to confront Pedro was stronger than any fear. When she reached the table, she took a deep breath and, with a firm voice, said, "Pedro, we need to talk." All eyes turned to her, and Pedro's expression of surprise was unmistakable. He quickly stood up, nearly knocking over his chair. "Anna, what are you doing here?" he asked, looking at her with a mixture of concern and confusion. "I'm here to find out the truth," Anna replied, not breaking eye contact. "About Juliana." Juliana, for her part, watched the scene with an ironic smile, as if she were enjoying the drama unfolding before her. Anna could feel the tense energy at the table, as if a heavy cloak had been thrown over everyone. "It's not what it looks like," Pedro tried to argue, but Anna was not willing to hear his excuses. "No, Pedro. I'm not here to hear more lies," she said, her voice firm. "I saw the message. I know you were with her." Pedro's expression changed, and he looked at Juliana, who simply raised an eyebrow as if waiting for the next move. Anna could feel the humiliation burning in her cheeks, but she wouldn't let it get her down. "Anna, this was a misunderstanding," Pedro began, but Anna interrupted him. "A misunderstanding? Do you think I'm that naive?" she said, trying to keep her voice steady, but the emotion was raw. "It was clear that you were meeting with her." "It's not what you think," Pedro insisted, but Anna noticed he was starting to lose his own words. "Then tell me, what am I thinking? That you and Juliana are just exchanging cake recipes?" She was furious, but at the same time, a part of her felt strangely relieved to finally confront him. Juliana, who had remained silent until then, decided to intervene. "Look, Anna," she began, in a provocative tone. "You don't need to make a scene. Pedro and I were just having fun. It's not his fault if you can't keep him interested." Anna felt a wave of anger rise. "Do you think you have the right to say that? You knew he was with me," she shouted, not caring about the stares from other customers. "You're no better than he is." The tension was rising, and Pedro tried to intervene. but Anna was no longer listening to him. Looking into Juliana's eyes, she realized she had to be firm. "You may have done this with him, but I'm not going to let you play with my feelings." Pedro then turned to Anna, his expression now one of desperation. "Anna, please, let's talk privately. It's not what you think. I never wanted to hurt you. You've already hurt me, Pedro." Anna replied, her tone now lower but still full of pain. "I can't continue in this relationship if I can't trust you. So what are you going to do?" Pedro asked, his voice now filled with anguish. Anna took a deep breath, feeling that she was finally finding her strength. "I'm stepping away. I can't stay here, trapped in a relationship based on lies." With that, Anna turned, determined to leave the place. Her heart was in pieces, but at the same time, a sense of freedom began to wash over her. She didn't know what the future held, but she knew she didn't want to live in the shadow of Pedro's lies anymore. As she walked toward the exit, she heard Pedro's voice calling her name, but she didn't turn around. The weight she had been carrying felt lighter with every step she took. As she opened the restaurant door, Anna felt a wave of emotions, sadness, anger, but also hope. She was finally freeing herself from a love that had kept her trapped. Outside, the fresh night air enveloped her, and Anna allowed herself to take a deep breath. Although she was devastated, she knew she had made the right decision. The road ahead might be uncertain, but she felt stronger than ever. And, in the end, the truth had set her free. Anna was at a crucial moment in her life, and her decision to enroll in a self-discovery course seemed, at first, a small step, but she was sure it would be the key to opening doors that had been closed for a long time. Upon arriving at the course location, a cozy and well-lit space decorated with plants and paintings exuding positivity, Anna felt a mix of anxiety and hope. Her heart was pounding in her chest, echoing the feeling that this was a new phase. The first class began with a circle of introductions. The participants shared their stories, bringing forth experiences of pain and overcoming. Anna listened attentively, absorbing each account. Each of them carried a burden, and at the same time, an immense desire to break free. When it was her turn, she hesitated, but the encouraging voice of the instructor, Marissa, urged her on. "Come on, Anna. You're among friends here. Speak what's in your heart," Marissa said with a warm smile. Anna took a deep breath and began. I went through a betrayal that made me question everything I believed about love. I was in a years-long relationship, and suddenly, everything collapsed. I feel lost, not knowing who I am without him." The other women looked at her with empathy, some nodding in understanding. The room was filled with a warm silence, and Anna felt more at ease to continue. "I always thought love was something perfect. But now, everything feels like a big lie. It's a painful process, but it's possible to find yourself again," said a curly-haired woman named Luana. "I went through it too, and I can assure you there is light at the end of the tunnel." Anna smiled, feeling that she was not alone. Luana's words echoed in her mind as the course continued, and each activity was a new discovery. One of the tasks that impacted her the most was writing. Marissa proposed that everyone write a letter to themselves as an act of self-love. Anna sat down at her desk, pen in hand, and began to write. The words flowed like a river finally finding its path. "Dear Anna, you deserve to be happy. The pain you feel now is temporary, and you are stronger than you think. It's time to free yourself from what doesn't do you good." She read the letter aloud to the group in the next class, and when she finished, tears streamed down her face. The women applauded, and Anna realized she was shedding a weight she had carried for a long time. "You are a warrior," Marissa said, her eyes shining with pride. "This is the true essence of love, being able to look at yourself and embrace yourself." With each class, Anna felt more confident, as if she were waking up from a long sleep. The group dynamics taught her to listen to her intuition and respect her feelings. One particular activity made her reflect on her dreams and desires, something she had set aside because of her relationship with Pedro. "Think of something you've always wanted to do but have put off," Marissa suggested. Write about it and, if possible, plan a first step to make that dream a reality. Anna thought about her passion for photography, something she had always loved but never pursued deeply. I would like to take a photography course, she confessed, the sparkle in her eyes betraying her excitement. I think it could be a way to reconnect with what I truly enjoy. The women encouraged her to enroll, and Anna promised she would do it. The course not only helped her work on her self-love but also helped her reconnect with her true self. One night, during a guided meditation session, Anna had an epiphany. While closing her eyes and breathing deeply, she visualized a stronger version of herself, free from emotional ties and willing to explore the world. Upon opening her eyes, she felt a renewed sense of determination. I'm ready to love myself and seek what makes me happy, she murmured to herself. By the end of the week, Anna decided to meet with Sophia, her longtime friend. They met at a cafe, and Anna couldn't wait to share her experiences. Amid the aroma of fresh coffee and the soft sound of conversations around, she began to speak. Sophia, I'm feeling so different, Anna said, a radiant smile on her face. The self-discovery course has been transformative. I'm really starting to rediscover myself. Sophia looked at her with curiosity. What do you mean? What have you learned? I've learned that self-love is essential. I spent so much time defining myself through Pedro that I forgot who I am. Now, I'm starting to value myself. I even wrote a letter to myself. Sophia smiled. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. And what else do you plan to do? I'm thinking about enrolling in a photography course, Anna replied, beaming. It's something I've always wanted to do, but never had the courage. You should definitely do it. Life is too short not to follow our dreams, Sophia encouraged enthusiastically. As they talked, Anna realized that their friendship had grown stronger. They shared not only the pains but also the dreams and achievements, creating a bond that propelled them to be better versions of themselves. In the following days, Anna dedicated herself to the self-discovery course and worked on her passion for photography. With each click of the camera, she felt that she was capturing not just images but also moments of her healing journey. The photography classes helped her see the beauty in small details, and that reflected in her personal life. During one of the photography classes, the instructor asked each student to capture an image that represented their emotional state. Anna went out to the park, camera in hand, and began to observe her surroundings. The flowers, the blue sky, the smiling people. When she finally captured an image of a leafy tree with blooming flowers, she felt that it represented her emotional state, renewal and hope. Upon returning home, Anna revisited her letter, now filled with new reflections. In a moment of introspection, she wrote, "Life is a constant metamorphosis, and I'm learning to love each phase I go through. The love I seek starts within me." As time went on, Anna felt stronger, more confident in her own skin. She realized that the journey of self-discovery was an endless path, filled with discoveries and challenges. But at the same time, it was a path that led her to a place of freedom and authenticity. In one of the last classes of the course, Marissa conducted a special activity. "Today, I want each of you to write a positive affirmation about yourselves and share it with the group," she said, with a sparkle in her eyes. Anna thought for a moment and, with a smile on her face, said, "I am worthy of love and happiness, and I am ready to embrace my life with courage and gratitude." The women applauded, and Anna felt a warmth in her heart. There, surrounded by those incredible women, she realized that she was truly transforming, and that her dreams were within reach. Anna was in a moment of transition in her life. After the emotional turmoil she had faced, she decided that she needed to reconnect with herself. The idea of taking a trip to a self-care retreat arose when she and Sophia, her longtime friend, were talking about how to recover from painful experiences. The morning sun illuminated the cafe where they were sitting, and the positive energy between them was contagious. "Do you remember when we were teenagers and dreamed of traveling the world?" Sophia asked, with a sparkle in her eyes. "I think this retreat could be our first step towards that." Anna smiled, nostalgia bringing back memories of carefree moments filled with hope. That's true. We always talked about how we wanted to explore new places and find ourselves. This retreat seems like the perfect opportunity. The two friends decided they needed this time together, away from the distractions of everyday life. The retreat promised an immersion in activities that would help release repressed emotions and find inner peace. Soon after, they were on their way to a beautiful place in nature, surrounded by mountains and a serene lake. When they arrived, Anna was struck by the beauty of the location. The rustic architecture of the main lodge, with large windows letting in the light, created a welcoming atmosphere. "Look how beautiful it is here. I'm so glad we decided to come," Anna said, with a radiant smile. Sophia, excited, agreed. "Yes, we need to make the most of every moment. Let's sign up for all the activities. I want to do yoga at dawn and meditation in the afternoon." Anna was eager to try new activities but also felt a slight apprehension. What did she hope to find at this retreat? As they settled into their rooms, her friend began to talk about the expectations they had. "I hope to find some clarity. I need to better understand what I want for my future," Sophia admitted, looking out the window. "And you, Anna?" "I want to feel free from all this," Anna replied, her voice almost a whisper. "From all the doubts, insecurities, and especially the weight that Pedro left on me. I want to rediscover myself." They looked at each other, understanding that they were in this journey of self-discovery together. The first day of the retreat began with an integration activity, where participants were invited to share their stories. Anna sat in a circle with other women, feeling a bit nervous. "Hi, my name is Anna. I recently went through a tough situation in a relationship, and I'm here to recover and learn to love myself again," she introduced herself, her voice trembling a little but filled with determination. The other women also shared their stories, and Anna realized she was not alone. Each story was unique, but there was a common thread that connected them all: the pursuit of self-love and overcoming emotional pain. One of them, named Carla, looked at Anna and said, "It's amazing how we're all here for similar reasons. I'm excited to see how we'll support each other." Throughout the week, the activities were challenging and transformative. Anna threw herself wholeheartedly into meditation, yoga, and even art workshops. In one of them, they were encouraged to paint what they felt. Anna picked up a brush and let her emotions flow in vibrant colors on the canvas. "I'm creating something that represents my liberation," she commented to Sophia, who was beside her, focused on her own brush strokes. "It's beautiful, Anna. You're expressing yourself in such a powerful way," Sophia praised, admiring her friend's work. By the end of the week, Anna felt lighter. During one of the last sharing groups, she opened up again. "I feel like I'm starting to understand myself. The pain I carry doesn't define who I am, and I have the power to write my own story." The other women applauded, and Anna felt a wave of support and love surrounding her. Sophia added, "You're so much more confident, my friend. It's inspiring to see this transformation." On the last day of the retreat, the participants were invited to write letters to themselves, which would be sent months later. Anna picked up the paper and, with a pen in hand, began to scribble her thoughts. "Dear Anna, always remember that you are worthy of love and respect. Never let someone's opinion make you doubt your worth. You are strong and capable of overcoming any challenge. Keep seeking what makes you happy and never forget to put yourself first." When she finished, Anna felt a wave of emotion. That letter was a commitment to herself, a vow of self-love that she was determined to honor. With tears in her eyes, she handed the letter to the retreat organizer, feeling renewed and ready for what would come next. On the way back home, Anna and Sophia chatted excitedly about the experiences they had. "I never thought I could feel this way so quickly," Anna said, looking out the car window. "I feel ready to face anything now." "And you are. The strength you've shown here is amazing. Don't forget that when you go back to your routine," Sophia replied, encouraging her. "Let's make this a new beginning." Anna smiled, remembering all the lessons learned and the new strength she had found. The retreat was not just an escape, but a true rebirth. As soon as they got home, she looked at her life with new eyes, realizing that although Pedro had left marks, they were no longer her chains. Shall we do something to celebrate this new phase? A dinner just the two of us, to toast to self-love. Anna suggested excitedly. I'd love that. Let's do it. And, who knows, maybe we can also start a journal together to document this new phase we're living, Sophia replied, full of enthusiasm. This was a new era for Anna. She knew that self-love was a constant journey, but she was determined to walk this path with confidence, alongside her friend. The future looked promising, and life was full of possibilities. Anna looked out the window as she waited for Pedro to arrive. The sky was cloudy, reflecting her state of mind. What should have been a simple meeting to return some things had turned into a whirlwind of conflicting feelings. Since discovering Pedro's secrets, her heart swayed between anger and longing, and now, looking back, she felt stronger and more determined to move on. When the doorbell rang, Anna hesitated for a moment. With a deep breath, she walked to the door and opened it. Pedro was there, with a look of surprise and concern. He seemed nervous, as if he knew this meeting wouldn't be easy. "Hi, Anna," he said, trying to smile, but the attempt sounded forced. "Thank you for calling me." "Hi, Pedro," Anna replied, maintaining a firm posture. "Come in." Pedro entered and observed the familiar surroundings, but the atmosphere was charged with tension. Anna turned and began to gather the things he had left at her house, a book, a shirt, and a mug he always used. While organizing everything, she tried to find the right words to express everything she felt. "You look well," Pedro said, breaking the silence, but Anna realized he was just trying to ease the tension. "I'm fine," she replied, without looking at him. "In fact, I'm better than before." The statement was an implicit challenge. Pedro watched her, a mix of relief and concern in his gaze. He knew that Anna was changing, but he didn't understand the depth of that transformation. "I'm sorry for everything that happened. I really didn't want us to reach this point," he said, trying to sound sincere. Anna turned to him, now with her eyes fixed on his. The intensity of her gaze left no room for doubt. "But we have, Pedro," she replied firmly. "And it's not just about Juliana. It's about everything you made me feel. I can't just forget and act like nothing happened." Pedro took a step toward her, seeking a connection that seemed to fade with each word Anna spoke. "I know I was wrong," he said, his voice trembling. "But I was confused." "You need to understand that, confused?" she interrupted, raising her voice. "You betrayed my trust, Pedro. I can't be an option in your life." Pedro took a deep breath, as if trying to find the right words. "I didn't want to hurt you," he insisted. "Juliana was a mistake, something fleeting. What I feel for you is real." Anna felt a wave of pain upon hearing that. That phrase, which before might have melted her heart, now sounded empty, like an echo of broken promises. "Real?" she questioned, with an ironic smile. "What is real to you, Pedro? What you feel for me can't be real if you can't be honest." Pedro fell silent, the expression on his face shifting from hope to despair. He knew he was in a fragile position, but he wasn't ready to give up. "I don't know what else I can do," he said, his voice a little lower. "I just want us to fix this." Anna shook her head, her heart racing. "No, Pedro. I can't fix something that should never have been broken. I'm in a different place now. I'm learning to value myself and love myself." "You're not serious," he said, almost in a whisper. "You can't just leave me like this." "I am very serious," Anna replied, her voice firm. "I'm not an option, Pedro. I deserve someone who values me, not someone who treats me like a second choice." The silence that followed was heavy. Anna felt the weight of the words spoken. It was as if a burden was being lifted from her shoulders, even though the pain of seeing Pedro like this was still present. I just don't know how to live without you, he confessed, his eyes full of despair. And I don't know how to live with you, knowing I can't trust you, Anna said, the sincerity in her voice echoing in the room. It's painful, but I need to think of myself now. Pedro took a step back, as if Anna's words had hit him like a punch to the stomach. So is that it? Are you really decided to end everything? He asked, his voice trembling. Yes, Pedro. She replied, feeling her heart tighten as she said it. I need to step away. I need time for myself, to heal and understand what I really want. Pedro's expression turned to despair. Anna, please. Don't do this. I can change. He pleaded, emotion overflowing in his eyes. Anna felt a pang of compassion, but she knew she couldn't give in. I don't want you to change for me, Pedro. I want you to change for yourself. I hope you find what you need, but I can't be part of that right now. She turned to grab the mug and the shirt, placing them in a bag. When she turned back, Pedro was standing there, looking lost. Silence settled in once again, but now it was a silence of understanding. You said goodbye to me. He said, his voice barely audible. I'm not saying goodbye to you, Pedro. I'm saying goodbye to the idea that we can be happy together. Anna replied, feeling the truth in her words. So, is this the end? He questioned, sadness evident in his tone. It's what needs to be. Anna confirmed, feeling a mix of sadness and relief. Pedro looked at her, the expression of acceptance beginning to take over his face. He knew there was nothing more he could do. I hope you find the happiness you deserve. He said, sincerely. Anna nodded, feeling a wave of gratitude for the moments they shared, but also a renewed determination. And I hope you do too. She replied, feeling that, despite the pain, she was finally freeing herself. As Pedro walked away, Anna realized that this was a milestone in her life. Although the separation was hard, there was a new horizon ahead of her, a future she was beginning to glimpse with hope. And, as she closed the door, she felt that for the first time in a long time, she was ready to move on. Anna was in a moment of deep reflection after her breakup with Pedro. The decision to end the relationship, which had been so difficult, now seemed like the right choice. Over the weeks, she had dedicated herself to getting to know herself better, to valuing herself, and life was beginning to smile at her again. The courage she had found led her to new opportunities and a newfound self-love. But the most surprising twist was yet to come. It was on a sunny morning that Anna received an unexpected message from Sofia. You won't believe what I discovered. We need to talk. It's about Juliana and Pedro. Anxiety took hold of Anna. What could be so important? They had already talked about Pedro and Juliana, but the idea that something new could arise intrigued her. So, they met at a cafe in the city center, a place that had become their refuge since they started sharing their stories and supporting each other. Hi, Anna. I'm so glad you came, exclaimed Sofia, with a smile that lit up her face. I couldn't stop thinking about what you told me about the betrayal. And then, I decided to investigate a bit more about Juliana. Anna sat down, her curiosity piqued. And what did you find? Well, I spoke with a mutual friend, and to my surprise, she told me that Juliana is not who she seems to be. In fact, she's in a relationship with another man, and the guy doesn't even know she's having an affair with Pedro. Anna was stunned. You're kidding. How is that possible? It seems that Juliana has an incredible ability to manipulate the people around her. She plays the victim while deceiving both men. This situation is more complicated than we imagined. Sofia looked around, as if fearing someone might overhear. And I have a plan. We need to confront her. Anna hesitated. Confront? What if it goes badly? Look, I know it's risky, but you deserve to know the whole truth. This woman can't keep hurting people and getting away with it. We need to do something. Sofia's words resonated within Anna. The idea of getting revenge in some way, or at least exposing the truth, seemed appealing. Okay, what do you suggest? They decided that the best approach would be to infiltrate a social event where Juliana and Pedro would be. I already have an invitation to a mutual friend's birthday party. Juliana will be there, and if Pedro shows up, it will be the perfect time for you to find out everything you need, said Sophia. Anna's determination grew with each passing moment. On the night of the event, Anna dressed in an elegant black dress that highlighted her newfound confidence. Looking in the mirror, she barely recognized the woman she had become. She was someone who had faced pain and come out stronger. Alongside Sophia, they arrived at the venue, a hall decorated with twinkling lights and lively music. Remember, Anna, stay calm and focus on what you want to find out, said Sophia, holding her hand before they entered. Let's go. Inside the hall, Anna spotted Pedro and Juliana in a corner, laughing and talking intimately. Her heart raced, but adrenaline pushed her forward. This is it, Anna whispered to Sophia, who nodded silently. They approached, and without hesitation, Anna interrupted the conversation. Pedro, can we talk for a moment? Pedro turned, the look of surprise on his face quickly turning to discomfort. Sure, Anna. What's going on? Juliana looked at Anna, her eyes gleaming with a mix of curiosity and disdain. Oh, you came to have fun, Anna? Pedro was just telling me about his new phase. The irony in Juliana's voice was palpable. Anna took a deep breath, trying to maintain her composure. Actually, Juliana, I came here to talk about you. A tense silence settled between them. Pedro looked from Anna to Juliana, confused. About me? What do you mean? I heard that you're in a relationship with another man, besides being here with Pedro. What kind of person are you to deceive two people at the same time? The question came out with a force that surprised even Anna. Juliana, now visibly irritated, crossed her arms. And what do you know about my life? You have no idea what you're talking about. I know enough to realize that you're a liar, Anna replied, her voice steady. And that you're playing with other people's feelings. Pedro, don't you really see what's going on here? Pedro looked stunned as Anna turned to him. Do you really think it's worth continuing in this relationship? You deserve more than this, Pedro. Pedro's expression changed, and he began to understand the gravity of the situation. Juliana, is it true that you're with someone else? Why didn't you tell me? Because it's none of your business, Pedro. Juliana shot back, the defensiveness raising her voice. I'm not the only one here with secrets. But this is different. We're talking about betrayal, Anna interjected, her words resonating with a clarity that seemed to echo in the hall. You have a pattern of lies, and that needs to stop. Pedro looked at Anna, his eyes now filled with confusion and pain. I didn't know all of this was happening. Juliana, I thought we were okay. Okay. Juliana laughed sarcastically. Did you really think I would be with you forever? You're just an option, just like her. The last word came out like a blow, embedding itself in Anna's heart. Anger and sadness mixed within her, but instead of letting it overwhelm her, Anna took a deep breath. I'm not an option, Juliana. And neither should you be for Pedro. He deserves someone who values him. Pedro, finally waking up from the illusion, took a step back and looked at Juliana. I can't continue this. I can't be part of this game. I don't want to be here anymore. Juliana, in a last-ditch effort to maintain control, tried to pull him back. You would be nothing without me. I made you who you are. Anna watched as Pedro distanced himself from Juliana, his gaze becoming clearer. I don't want to be that person. I'm tired of lies. The scene felt magical to Anna. It was as if she were watching a play, where the characters finally revealed themselves. Juliana, now unmasked, tried to maintain her dignity, but the cracks in her facade were becoming more and more evident. I'm leaving. I don't need you or your lies anymore, Pedro said, his voice stronger. It's time for me to seek something real. Juliana, now desperate, shouted, "You'll regret this." Just like Anna. Anna felt a chill run down her spine, but the determination in her heart wouldn't let her hesitate. "You can't control me, Juliana. I am free and ready to move on." Pedro finally turned to Anna, a new light in his eyes. "I'm sorry for everything, Anna. I didn't know. I can't believe I let this happen." Anna smiled, a sense of relief washing over her. "Don't worry, Pedro. The past can't hold us anymore. Let's move forward." In that moment, Anna realized she no longer needed Pedro to be happy. The freedom she had gained was greater than any relationship. She was ready to embrace a future free from the shadows of the past, and that was what truly mattered. After the farewell, Anna and Sophia walked away, feeling triumphant. They had exposed the truth, and Anna's life was about to change forever. Courage, friendship, and self-love had become her greatest weapons, and with that, Anna was finally ready to write her own destiny, far from betrayals and lies.